All right, Tom, your thoughts?
Yeah, well,
Tom. Step aside.
Who put these in, Tom? Only Duracell has power boost ingredients. That's why winners like Tom here only run on Duracell.
Tom, are you okay?
why does everyone keep asking me that since the roast?
I gotta go Gronk's down again.
Shalom. I would like to give all honor, glory, and praises to Yahawah, Bahashem, Yahawashai, Bahashem, Rakakodash. I would like to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Salutations to all you sincere Akim, pushing his word across the four corners of the world. So, as you just saw from this opening video concerning the 2025 Super Bowl that premiered last night, which was February the 9th, 2025. And the NFL Super Bowl is the most watched sporting event all throughout America. But more so on a deeper level, this is when the so-called powers that be that stem from the tabernacle of Esau Edom can be able to advance their secret agendas, plots, and crafty schemes to the masses of their global ideal. In this case, the mark of the beast, which is biblically identified within Revelation, the 13th chapter, and also Revelation, the 14th chapter, and also Revelation, the 20th chapter, which is the RFID technology, the microchip. So again, within this opening video, as you saw, this highly weird satanic puppet by the name of Tom Brady, and his character was a battery-powered robot. And as Tom Brady's character was announcing the game, that's when he ran out of power. So therefore he had to get reboosted. And that's when this other character within the commercial ran towards Tom Brady's character to his aid. And this other particular character, he was dressed like he worked in a lab, like a scientist. So he opened up Tom Brady's character arm, changed his batteries, and gave Tom Brady's character a power boost. And for the ones of us who have the eyes to see and the ears to hear through the gift of the Holy Spirit, which is having that spiritual insight of Yahawah Bahashem Yahushai, we know what time it is. When the so-called powers that be, they want to cause all. When you read Revelation, the 13th chapter, and that Greek word for all is pas, which means every inhabitant of the earth, every individual. So what's the greatest time to advocate their secret agendas, plans that they have planned for humanity? It's through the Super Bowl, which is again the most watched sporting event within America. By America, aka Babylon the Great, being that whore that sitteth upon the beast, you should already know that all the nations gonna gravitate unto whatever America got going on, especially concerning these bread and circuses events. So this is their push or advancement for a new frontier to human dignity, and they call that transhumanism, which is their philosophy and science of using technology to transcend the physical, the mental, and the psychological limitations of humanity. And I looked on this site called humanlifeinternational.org or HLI.org, and they got on here, what is transhumanism? And they have a posted transhumanist declaration. And it says, humanity stands to be profoundly affected by science and technology in the future. We envision the possibility of broadening human potential by overcoming aging, cognitive shortcomings, involuntary suffering, and our confinement to planet Earth. And not too long ago, you had the United Nations chief. He stated regulation needed for artificial intelligence to benefit everyone. And they feel like this artificial intelligence technology is going to give humanity superpowers. And that's ultimately by accepting the MOTB, which again is the RFID technology. So we are literally witnessing the heavy push for this new global digital paradigm. And they're placing it more and more into the masses' faces. So therefore they can be gradually engineered or conditioned to accept this new way of life by merging man with machine. And you have right now that's going on within Paris. It's called the Paris AI Summit, Artificial Intelligence Summit. And this particular event, it aims to explore how artificial intelligence can be used to help the world to achieve the sustainable development goals. In other words, a global order or the Great Reset. And hence the word summit from Paris Summit, which is the highest level, degree, or point, as in government officials, which are the top men or women that these higher ups pick that participate within these different global summits. And when you look into the scriptures, it goes into about the mountain, which in most times are referring to like a government. And that's why it's stated within Jeremiah 51:25, how Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai is against thee, O destroying mountain, which is referencing to America, Babylon the Great, that's spearheaded by the tabernacle of Esau Edom. So ultimately, Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai is against these wicked devices, agendas, and diabolical plans of Esau Edom because it's destroying the whole world. And that takes me right to Isaiah 32:7. The instruments also of the churl are evil, and a churl is an ill-breed, unprincipled person. And those characteristics, it embodies Esau Edom. He devised wicked devices to destroy the poor with lying words, even when the needy speak it right. And you have the U.S. Vice President, J.D. Vance. He just made it to this Paris AI Summit. And you should already know their talking points. It's not within the best interest for humanity, especially upon you Israelites. And that takes me right to Micah 2:1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. And this is referring to the hosts of the high ones when you read the book of Isaiah, the 24th chapter. These elites that are heavily advocating for this sustainable development goals. Again, this NWO. And through this NWO, their plans are engineered to set forth a great ethnic cleansing upon this earth. So within the forefront of these different higher ups meeting at these summits via mainstream news, they pretend like these different meetings or summits is all within the confinements of a pro-life world. But the masses not knowing, they do not know that it's a meeting within a meeting of these different higher ups at these different global summits. So again, woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it's in the power of their hand. Which aligns with Proverbs, the 4th chapter and the 14th verse, about entering not into the path of the wicked and go not in the way of evil men. And it goes on to say within that same chapter, and how these higher ups, they cannot sleep unless they have orchestrated some type of mischief upon the earth. And that's where these so-called powers that be, these higher ups, they commune together at these different global events, such as your government officials, policy makers, investors, technocrats, innovators, and the list goes on. And they are all for this fourth industrial revolution, and where they look at this new way of life as the new frontier of technological advancements. So the push for this so-called their new way of life, they take this very serious, which is why it's stated within the book of Job how the triumphant of the wicked is short. And also alluding to Revelation, the 12th chapter, how the devil knoweth that he has but a short time, which is a short time for them to institute this global agenda, aka NWO. And that takes me right to Job 5:12. And Yahweh Bahashem Yahushua is going to be with them to a certain point to achieve their so-called NWO. However, they're not going to be in a position they can be able to sit down and to actually enjoy this NWO in full progress. Which takes me right here to Job 5:12. He, referring to Yahweh Bahashem Yahushua, and more so Yahushua, disappointed the devices of the crafty. And again, the crafty is referencing to these higher ups of these different nations, and more specifically Esau Edom, trickling on down to their lesser higher ups, such as these government officials, investors, technocrats, innovators, policy makers, anybody pretty much that's on board of accepting this image of the beast system and along with his mark. So he disappointed the devices of the crafty so their hands cannot perform their enterprise. And I bring this out from time to time. When you go into enterprise from the Edelman online, it goes into to take in hand, which is ultimately the higher ups global success or agenda to cause all upon the planet Earth, which has to be this RFID technology, the microchip. And again, referencing to that 2025 Duracell Super Bowl commercial, the powers that be are not hiding it of the position that they want humanity to be in the near future, which is to be microchip. Verse 13, he taketh the wise in their own craftiness, again referencing to Yahawashi taking the wise in their own craftiness, and the counsel of the froward is carried headlong. They meet with darkness in the daytime and grope in the noonday as in the night. Hence these global summits. And all of these diabolical global summits, their talking points within those meetings are referring to artificial intelligence, the RFID technology, robotics, human cyborgs, transhumanism, science, technology, which is ultimately not the way that Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua wants the world to be in as a whole. However, it has to play out due to biblical prophecies within these end times. But going back to the point right here, they're not going to be fully successful with this NWO, which is why it's stated within the book of Job, the 20th chapter, are these wicked elites about to feel quietness in their belly. And soon as they're about to feel their belly, like putting all the pieces together for this NWO. So therefore they can live happily ever after by implementing a dystopian society. And that's exactly when the Heavenly Father Yahweh is going to dispatch Yahawashi and along with the host of angels, and they're going to fully disrupt these wicked elites' plans. That's when Yahawashi along with the host of angels are going to kick through that door. That's by invading this earthly realm. And with that notion, Yahawashi is going to dethrone Esau and along with his joint heirs, these other nations, and set for his build back better plan, which is a righteous great reset or a righteous new world order. So we're within that turning point of events, aka end time biblical prophecies, where these pro-transhumanists have the wicked concept that being human is not good enough. And these powers that be are gradually conditioning the masses to be more acceptable to this new frontier of human dignity, which is the ideal of philosophy of transhumanism. The same global engineering mechanisms as when the so-called powers that be applied that same type of pressure during the precursor, which was the C-19 pandemic. So how much more now when the devil knows that he has but a short time? It's going to be more intensified and more heightened on greater levels. And Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua wants us as the hopeful elect to be within this disadvantaged point, to be defenseless, and to not give in with these higher ups or pulling at the flesh of the masses, so we can be able to tap more into the spirit and count upon Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua. Because the only way out of this is divine intervention, which is ultimately through Yahawashi. So through the spirit, continue to measure the times diligently in itself. And definitely keep being aware of Satan's diabolical devices. So I'll brought this out with that. Hopefully you all was edified. You all stay strong. Keep pushing forward. Shalom.